Hey Bryce, how's it going?
It's going excellent, because today we have a most excellent lineup.
Yep, we got a good episode today. So, I know we've talked about superheroes a lot. In the 2 months that we've been posting, which 2 months since we've been posting. Woo! That's kind of awesome. So
I didn't think we'd make it this far.
I didn't either. I thought, we'll do like 3 episodes, and then
it'll wane off.
We'll run out of stuff to say. But no, 2 months. That's awesome. And I think it's time to actually put this up as a podcast. I think it's time to start posting it
on that place that you told me about that was like a month ago that we never did anything with.
So look for that, people. We might still post it on YouTube since that's where we started, but I want to start being able to download it into my podcast app and see iTunes and all that stuff, although iTunes, but I'll have to sing a different tune when we put it on iTunes. iTunes! That'll be the tune that I sing.
I won't sing at all because I wouldn't want to hurt your ears.
No. But anyway, I know we talked about superheroes a lot, but bear with us because my calculations are correct.
Which they most likely aren't, because let's face it, your math is not your strong suit.
I do not math on days that end in Y. But I looked at the calendar, and this episode is due to go up on International Superhero Day.
Yeah.
So it would be weird.
Thank you, crowd. Thank you.
We do our own Foley work. It would be weird if we did not talk about superheroes on International Superhero Day.
It would be.
Now, we've talked a lot about we talked about like the Marvel superheroes, we've talked about DC to some extent, but we've talked about our favorite superheroes, things like that. But I don't want to just like run rad shot over, this, that, and the other. So I thought it's also a beautiful spring day here in sunny Virginia. It's actually very nice outside. I want to get done with podcasting so that I can go outside with my puppy.
Give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know it's Virginia. It'll be rainy soon. Just give it some time.
It'll be 5 minutes. It'll be raining. 10 minutes after that, it'll be snowing. About 20 minutes after that, it'll be 113. Just
shut your mouth.
Is anything that I'm saying not true?
No, it's all true.
See?
But anyway, so it's a beautiful spring day.
It is.
And
takes you back.
It does. It takes me back to field day.
Field day was always fun. Just go to school and not do school.
Yeah. Go to school, be outside all day, run around, get soaking wet, eat a whole bunch of junk food, and then go home and annoy your parents. That's what I remember from field day.
That was, now that I think about it, that was probably just, the teacher's revenge against the parents. Of like, so. This is what I have to deal with your kids all the time. All day. Guess what? Mm-hmm. You have fun now. I've loaded them up with sugar and gotten them running around as fast as possible, and I am shoving them back to you. Yep. And have fun.
I do recall a couple memories I have from field day. The first one is that you always hated to be the last class to get to some of the water sports, because by then they have a whole bunch of like grass clippings and stuff in them, and it's gross. It's so gross. The second one has very little to do with field day, more to do with my household, but my mom always made dirt cups for field day. That was always her volunteer to do, because they're quick, they're easy, you can make, she made 3 dozen dirt cups one year for a field day. And my dog ate half of them.
Oh my god.
And was not sick. Yep.
The iron stomach.
That same summer, he ate a quarter of a German chocolate cake. and was not sick. I was the best dog ever.
Congratulations, you had Crypto the super dog.
I know! Oh,
Did he disappear for some points of time and randomly show back up with, like, scuff marks? Or burnt patches?
Oh, God, I would have been worried then. But no.
It's okay, he just saved Timmy from the burning building down the street.
He was a dumb dog, though. He was a golden retriever. And the joke is, you always know when you have a purebred golden retriever. Because you look in their eyes and you can see the back of their skull.
Oh, God.
Because there ain't nothing there. Bless his heart, that was him. First tangent out of the way. Good.
One down, only about 60 to go.
So I came to Bryce and I was like, I told him earlier, I was like, hey, it's going to be superhero day when we record the next podcast or when it gets uploaded. So we should do something where you pick out a team of superheroes, I pick out a team of superheroes, and they fight. Which sounds really good in theory, but then I realized how much effort I was going to have to put into that because I was going to have to actually do research into what their powers are, what their weaknesses are, and what Bryce's team would have chosen as powers and weaknesses and created a strategy. And, like, I don't mind doing that when I'm prepping for D&D, and I don't mind doing that when I'm prepping for my own writing, but that is a lot of effort that I didn't have time to do. It's been a rough couple of weeks in my household, so I just didn't have a chance to take a look at all that. So I changed it at the last minute, which I do to Bryce very often. I'll just, peel more of that curtain back, and then be like, I come to Bryce and I'm like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. And Bryce, you just like, yeah, okay.
Well, let's be honest here. Most of the time that we record this, the ideas aren't ever picked, usually until the day of. The hour of. Because neither of us can come up with anything, and then once we get here, we're like, oh god, we gotta figure something out.
Yeah.
And then we spew something out. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, it works.
It's tarnished gold, but it's gold.
Yeah! Look, it may not be pretty. It may not,
we're gonna have to cut out all of that laughter.
It may not win. Yeah, like...
It ain't win any beauty contests.
Yeah, it may not win any beauty contests, but so help me, it works. Mm-hmm. So...
One of these days, we'll just sit down in front of the microphone and be like, I don't know what to talk about. I have exhausted everything. And then we'll just start bullshitting. And that's when the real show will start. It's when we just start bullshitting. Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, God.
Oh, that gives me an idea for another episode.
Oh, yeah, there's actually some more stuff that I found out some stuff in the last couple days about some upcoming movies I need to talk about.
All right.
So
anyway,
that'll be next time.
This is the actual premise. So I came to Bryce and I said, what if we still made two teams of superheroes, but instead of fighting it out in a gladiator-style arena, we do the other thing that happens around springtime, which is field day. So we take some of those events and we pair people up, and the rules were, so we have 6 events. Nobody can be in more than 2 events, basically.
Yeah. We have 5. There's one that's tug of war, so everybody's going to be in it. So we have 5 events, some of which need 2 people in it. Yeah. So you have 5 people on your team. Each one can only be in 2 different events.
Yeah. So, do you want to go over your team lineup, and I'll go over my team lineup, and then we'll get to the field day.
All right. We're starting off with the Justice Force.
Justice Force.
Starting off with the leader, Superman. Next, coming in from the left, Quicksilver. Coming out of nowhere, the Flash. Flying in from skies unknown, Supergirl. And knocking your head around with an arrow from your blind spot, Huntress. Thank you.
I don't know what I was supposed to say after that. Everything I say in comparison is going to be just a little shy of decent. Oof,
I mean,
okay.
If you want, I could read them off.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to do it once again as the Sports person.
Sports announcer.
Thank you. Those are words that are real.
All right, we're back here again today, and we've got the X-Ladies. First up, team leader, Storm. She'll blow you away. Coming up in second, Rogue, the lady with the deadly touch. Then we've got Jean Grey. Don't piss her off, because she's got mind over matter. Next up is Kitty Pryde. There's no escaping this lady, because she can get to ya. And last but not least, the deadly Scarlet Witch. Red has never seemed so fatal.
Oh my god, that's so good! I instantly feel like my team's gonna be better. So, before we... Okay, the last thing is, we are going to explain... We're going to go through each heat, I guess, and explain how we think the person would win, and make a case for why we think that they would do better. But we are not going to be the ones to decide who wins.
Oh, no. Let's face it, while we may be laid back, this is a competition, and...
Yeah, I would all vote for my side, and he'd all vote for his side, and we would lose. So...
Everyone loses.
Everyone loses in that game. So, instead, we're going to leave it up to you, the listeners, and you can tweet at us at Ancient B, that's Ancient B with 3 E's, on Twitter, using the hashtag Superhero Field Day. Which is really how you should say it. It's how we've been saying it to each other. Superhero Field Day!
Question. Are we going with the super or super?
I really want to go with super, but I'm worried that might get lost, and I want to be able to make sure that we count everybody's vote. So I'm going to go with Superhero Field Day.
Spell it all out.
Yes.
No
spaces,
shortcuts.
no nothing, just Superhero Field Day.
Superhero Field Day!
Superhero Field Day!
Superhero Field Day!
How many times are we going to... Superhero Field Day! So, anyway. So, we're going to make a case, and then you can send in your votes for Team Justice Force or Team X-Ladies. Decide who you think would win that part, and then hopefully we will have some results to read at a later date. Or nobody will tweet at us, we'll make up stuff.
Yeah.
I will instantly make up 5 fans who all voted.
Here's Pretty Pony 72.
There's a lot of horse people related to this. It's weird. It's almost as if, a lot of these names seem like she went through the phone book, but they're super legitimate. Anyway. So that's how we're gonna play this. Okay. The first event. That's the word I was looking for. The first event. I know sports stuff. Not at all. The first event is Tug of War. Woo! So it's gonna be basically everybody against everybody. God help this rope. It must be made out of like tungsten, like super wrapped steel, like there's no way. Like, it's not a regular rope. It's like the natty rope that you use in...
No, we called in Wonder Woman and borrowed the lasso of truth.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my god, yes!
We're just pulling on it and yelling out random truths.
Yes.
Like the most embarrassing secrets. Like Superman sitting there, I like to be choked.
Oh god!
That's what...
those are things I do not want to know about Superman.
I actually saw a funny comic about that.
Really?
It was like a short little thing that was talking about it where he was, him and Lois Lane were intimate, and he got depressed because she was trying, but because he's Superman,
it wasn't working.
It wasn't working.
I could buy that though. Like, no shame in that game, but I could buy that autoerotic asphyxiation would be Superman's deal, simply because what is the one thing that Superman can't do? As far as we're concerned, die, right? Like, he really, I mean, kryptonite aside, there's not too much mortal danger that can come to this man. Mm-hmm. So probably getting that, like, the getting that close to death would be...
euphoric?
Yeah. Oh, man,
that's why they pair him with Superwoman.
That's
with
an episode.
Wonder Woman.
That's an episode for later.
Oh,
Dissecting superheroes' kinks. Oh, boy.
Oh, God. Entire episode. Mature warning.
That superhero is not safe for work.
Not safe for work at all. Oh, God.
We're eventually just going to become a superhero podcast. It's not even what we intended, but we'll just talk about every other episode. Superhero! So.
Superhero this, superhero that. Superhero kinks, superhero field day, superhero math club.
You can't see the face I just gave him, but it was like super fangirl, like, oh, yes, please.
Oh, God. Okay.
I want to see mathletes next.
No. Just the best and brightest superheroes.
Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Ra's al Ghul. I just put together my mathlete team. They're all dudes, though, so I'd have to choose other people because I want to go with all ladies.
Okay. Well, thank you for my team.
You can have it. I'll take Sue Storm.
You can take the new reincarnation of Iron Man, which is a
16-year-old genius.
Yeah, who's smarter than Tony Stark.
Heck yeah! I was going to go with their female equivalents, but I like this one better. Okay. Sorry. Oh boy, second tangent out of the way.
Was that 2? I'm pretty sure it was like so 2, 3, and maybe 4.
So many, but anyway.
Okay.
So Tug of War.
Tug of War.
So, first off, Bryce.
Yes.
How are you setting up your... Because anybody who's played Tug of War, like it's a game. It's not a game. It is fight to the death. Anybody who's done Tug of War knows that you have to set people up in the right spot. So, yes. Who's going where?
Okay. So, I'm going to have Superman as the back, on the back. And I will have...
He's the weight.
I will have... Yeah. I will have Quicksilver at the front.
Uh-huh.
Then I will have Supergirl. Mm-hmm. And then Huntress and Flash.
Uh-huh.
So I have Quicksilver at the front. You know, he's got the speed. He can hold on to it and literally just run in the opposite direction. So he's got those quick little feet going, you know. Mm-hmm. So instead of it being like one full push, it's just constant little motions back.
Uh-huh.
All right. Then we got Supergirl, who's, you know, another heavy hitter. She can be a constant force. Huntress in the middle because she's
me in gym class. She's just holding on.
Yeah.
She's got one thing.
Yeah. And then we'll have the Flash again to do the same thing as Quicksilver. Get that constant, you know, little taps. Don't need to have a full push or pull. You just need, you know, constant, steady little bits. Yep. And then we got Superman on the back as the weight.
That sounds very good.
Thank you. Now, try to beat me.
I will. So, you do need a weight in the back. And Rogue is my strong woman. So, she's obviously in the back.
Yes, taking note that this is not the X-Men movies Rogue. Because...
No. I'm sorry. I should have reiterated.
Let's specify. This is.
I grew up watching the 90s X-Men cartoon, so the Rogue that I'm thinking of is the extremely Louisiana post Miss Marvel, where she has zapped her powers. That's why she has those powers.
I had no idea.
The just a quick background is that she actually absorbed so much of Ms. Marvel that she gained the flight and strength from her.
Okay.
In the 90s cartoon, it placed Ms. Marvel into a coma. In the comics, I know that there's a couple of times where it actually places a personality within Rogue that causes some issues sometimes.
Huh.
Because she's absorbed so many people, eventually those personalities have to come out. But anyway, that's for a later date. But anyway, so she's super strong, so she's in my back. Storm is the leader. So, much like in D&D, she has to be in the mid-range to back range so that she can see everything and control the situation. So she's the second to back. And then, Kitty Pryde is in the middle. And then it would be probably Scarlet Witch and Jean Grey. And really it doesn't matter front, center, first or second, doesn't really matter. And this is why. Your strategy is completely sound. And a constant pull of force would be terrible. But I have 2 things to counteract that.
Okay.
I don't need to be stronger than you. I just have to be able to use your strength against yourself. So 2 things. And I would try both strategies. If one failed, I would go with the second. First is, Scarlet Witch basically has raw power at her disposal. And there have been times, there's a comic I read, House of M, where she literally rewrote the world. Because her husband...
She just rewrites where the line is.
Yeah. Well, her husband, she married Vision, and he became the leader of the Avengers in the long line of history Marvel. And he died, and she was upset about that. So she wrote it so that mutants didn't exist. Yeah. It's a really awesome comic. I have never finished it. I finished the first book, but I could never find the second part of it, so I never know how it ends. So it kind of is like Schrodinger's story where it just ends, but there's more to it, but I've just never seen it. Anywho, so Scarlet Witch, and I like the idea about the line. I didn't think that, so I'm not going to steal it. I was literally going to create a frictionless surface beneath your 2 fast people, and if they don't have friction, they can only go so fast. I learned this from a school bus. Mm-hmm. So if that didn't work, because I'm pretty sure that I would make like Captain America the referee in this situation. I'm pretty sure that Captain America would be like, no messing with the other team. So I'm pretty sure that would work. If Captain America wasn't looking or couldn't figure it out, because let's face it, sometimes he can be dumb or just not observant. If I couldn't get away with that, I'm pretty sure I could, because it's about to be all no rules fan thing situation. There is a way using physics, and Jean Grey is super smart. She has a doctorate. She would know these things. That if you're constantly pulling in one direction and all of your people are faced in that direction, and I'm right now giving you an opposite but equal, if I just switch directions enough, your entire thing will fall down. Because you're still pulling in the one direction of force. So Jean Grey would be able to, because she's towards the second middle-ish area, be able to calculate that and be able to tell everybody in their brain parts. To move, to shift like X degrees. In the left or right position. And thereby completely throw your team off, and they would all fall on their faces, and we wouldn't laugh because we're the X-Ladies, but they'd get pretty muddy. Because there's always mud in a tug-of-war, right?
Yeah.
If there wasn't, Scarlet Witch would make some. Or Storm would make some. She would just make some
One
mud.
flaw is that 2 of my people fly.
2 of your people do fly.
2 of my people do fly. So, falling flat on the face...
Oh, they wouldn't fall, maybe. Okay. I'll keep that into consideration.
So it's definitely sound strategy. It'd be one of those things where it's down to the wire.
4 of my people can fly and or levitate.
Okay, well...
I'm just saying for future things, if flying is allowed.
Oh, God.
Anyway. So that's my argument, is that's how I would win.
We'll have to create a box. Just like, okay, you can go so far off the ground. You can be like 6 inches.
Or the game designer would make it so that flying was a legit way to use your powers, but not out of the realm of powers.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that would be mine. Either frictionless surface, or I would shift the thing, and then your people would fall. But then if Supergirl and Superman do not fall, they still could maybe from that position pull.
It's
do like a real big tug and maybe pull all my people to the ground. Maybe.
It's both sound strategies.
Both sound strategies.
On both sides, but it's really gonna it's down to the people voting because it's...
Yeah. Which one do you buy?
Yeah.
And please, I appreciate... Don't tell me what you would do instead. You want to create your own group of superheroes to do these things, go right ahead. But don't say, well, you should have had so-and-so. Respect the game.
We made our choices.
Let
us make the mistakes that we shall gain from these choices.
Yep. Just don't vote for that one. If you see a flaw, don't vote for it. Okay. So the second event is the egg spoon race, which is, you put an egg in a spoon and you have to walk it down to the end and back again. And if the egg breaks, you got to go all the way back to the beginning, get a new egg. Or if it falls off, it doesn't have to break. If it falls off the spoon, you got to go all the way back to the beginning, get a new egg, start over. Put the egg back on the spoon, start over. Those are the rules, Captain America says.
Oh, God.
So, for this one, you chose...
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
I chose Quicksilver. For a very simple reason. When you're going that fast, as you've seen in the movies,
yeah,
he can just move stuff. So, I'm figuring he can just literally run from one end to the other and keep it straight on there.
Okay.
Yep.
I chose Jean Grey because I figured that she could either float the egg all the way to the end and back, or she could just walk all the way down and back, but use her mind powers to keep the egg steady on the spoon, and thereby never have to worry about the spoon.
Okay. So yours is walking or floating it down, using mental powers to keep it together.
Yeah.
Mine is using the force of his run to have the egg stay on the spoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it would fall off. I think that he would be going so fast, because that's part of the thing about the egg spoon race, right? Is that if you go too fast, the egg's going to fall off.
Yes.
You can't run it down there.
But if he...
because if he's moving his whole body in a run, how is he going to keep his egg?
Well, you can always speed walk.
Straight. Speed walk.
Speed walk!
I think that you're thinking in your head that he's going to speed walk like the Roadrunner or something, where only his feet are going to be moving in a circular motion. And the rest of his body is perfectly balanced. That's what you were thinking, wasn't it?
No. That's not what I was thinking.
That's what I'm thinking now. I can't unsee it.
No, but what I was thinking was that he'd be moving so fast that honestly he could just turn it sideways so that it's literally his motion forward is so great that it's pushing back against the egg onto the spoon.
That isn't a bad thing.
So that then once he gets to the end, he just turns it up.
You know what, actually? That makes a lot of sense. He could almost move his hand so quick that he creates like he could spin the spoon around the egg, creating centrifugal force, which would keep the egg on the spoon, and then run.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even care who wins. I just think it's hilarious. I'm like, let's think of ways that this would happen.
And so, just this guy holding a spoon with an egg on it, and then all of a sudden, and it's just this little blur.
No, I would love it.
Like a lasso, just
No, I would love it if he did that, thinking that the egg is safe. He gets all the way to the end of the race, thinks that he's won, and he always got his scrambled eggs. Or he's like, on the spoon is this like perfectly meringued, like fully whipped egg, because he has spun it so fast. Which I'm gonna say, as a baker, like, that is really hard to do. So kudos on him. I now want to see Quicksilver's cooking show. But
oh God.
Okay. So yeah.
All right. All right. So my character's got speed, but potential to just shatter the egg in one way or the other.
My character has balance.
Yes.
That's what I was going for.
Gotcha. All right. What's next?
Third race is also the 3-legged race. So, tie a leg together, inside leg, hopefully. People should figure that. But then you run from one end to the other end as coordinated and as fast as you can.
All right.
As possible. Now I'm going to ask a clarifying rule. We can decide, because I don't know how sneaky I want to be on this one. Both parties have to use all 3 legs, or no?
Wait, what? All parties meaning that you can't just drag one person along? You can't
just lift someone up and keep going?
Okay, no. Because that kind of takes out the whole purpose of a 3-legged race. If you just lift a person up and use your 2 legs to walk, and they're just being dragged along.
Then that's definitely not what I was going to do.
Yeah.
That's why I had to ask.
No,
I'm not trying to break the rules. I'm just trying to figure out just where the rules are.
No, I perfectly understand. You have to know where the limit is so that you can stay within it.
Yep. So, who's your lineup team? Justice Force?
Mine is Quicksilver and the Flash.
No, you're going for Speed again.
I am going for Speed again.
You should have just named your team Speeds.
I was going for the Speed Force. And then I was like, I don't want the Huntress to be left out.
And Huntress. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I'll keep the Force and just go with the Justice Force. So, I didn't want my teammates to be left out.
I hear you.
So, but yes, so it's fairly simple. 2 speedsters. If they have trouble getting coordinated, they're fast enough to make up for it.
Okay. I think I think they'd be fairly difficult for them to be tied at the ankle and try to run. But I'm willing to watch them fall like baby giraffes.
They run for a living. They can
Separately.
Coordinate this. Yes!
Or they carry someone. They don't run with somebody attached to their leg.
But as long as you get if 2 normal people can coordinate to walk semi-okay for a 3-legged race, then 2 superpowered people who run for a living can do it.
Okay. I don't think so, but okay. I think that they would try to move as fast as possible and then fall, and then... Actually, I think that their personalities would get in the way, too.
Yeah.
I think they're both show-offs. Which is not bad, but I think their personalities might get in the way. So
and that's where Superman comes in as the leader. He's like, all he has to do is be like, look, guys, I know y'all want to show off, but if you don't work together, then you're going to look like fools. And if you look like fools, then who's going to want to date you? So...
Oh, you brought the ladies in.
Yeah. So, you got to use that to your advantage.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. The leader's got to do something as a leader. So That's what my guy's doing. Superman is just using their own ego against them by saying, "Hey, you want to show off? That's great, but unfortunately, you got to work together on this. Because if you don't, you're gonna fall flat on your face. If you fall flat on your face, then what are you really showing off?"
True. So my team is Kitty Pryde and Rogue, which my original idea was just to
pick her up and run with her.
Have Rogue pick up Kitty Pryde, and then they could just run in a straight line because you could literally phase through the Flash and Quicksilver. Nothing would get in their way. But I still feel like there's a combination there where, let's face it, even in a three-legged race, one person is doing most of this work. So Rogue is definitely the force, but I feel like Kitty Pryde can also help them get some aerodynamic stuff going because she can literally make everything just phase through them.
Mm-hmm.
And the sneaky thing is, what I would do is if they caught up with the Flash and Quicksilver, because let's face it, they can't go as blurry fast as they want to do, is that she could phase them into the ground as they're passing, and then Rogue would say something like, "See ya, boys," and they would take off to their race. It would be great.
Okay.
Or, oh my gosh, or they could fly. Hear me out. So Rogue can fly.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty Pryde has a pet dragon. She does. I don't remember where she gets this pet dragon, but it is canon that she has a baby dragon. So what if the baby dragon could lift her up enough that they could fly? Not like super high into the ground, but just enough into the... No, you don't think Captain America would fly for that?
Alright, I'll play the role of Captain America. As in, like, it's one thing to phase them into the ground, okay?
Yeah.
Using your powers to the advantage to cause them to have to stall them, then they have to vibrate their way out of it.
Yeah,
okay.
It really wouldn't stop them.
Yeah. That, riding the line, but okay, I can deal with that. Taking out having to get any coordination at all by having them fly.
That's a no-go.
I mean, the whole purpose of a three-legged race is saying, hey, here's one person and here's one person. Let's strap a leg together, figure out how to walk.
Oh, well then there's going to be one major problem in my pairing. There's a huge height difference between Rogue and Kitty Pryde. And I don't know, you probably don't have this as not short person, but as a short person, I'll be happy to tell you that you cannot run a three-legged race with somebody who has a foot difference with you.
Leg stride.
So, their only hope of winning is if they can catch up with you enough to phase you into the ground so that they can win just that little bit of an advantage. So I'm going to go with that. That's my whole plan, is to just phase you into the ground. Is
to hope to catch up to us enough.
Yes.
So that you can phase us into the ground to stall us just enough for you to get there first.
Yes. See, this is how it works in my brain. Is that the ready, set, go, white flag falls, whatever. You guys go to run as fast as possible, only to trip and fall over yourselves like Bambi on ice. You're able to get coordinated enough. We catch up with you in that point because of your stumble, that we can phase you into the ground and then take off as fast as possible, and just by 5 seconds. That's all we would need, is just 5 seconds faster than you. That's how it goes in my head. But only the fans will decide.
Yep. Because 5 seconds is a very long time for a speedster.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right.
The
next
fourth
one is...
event is the potato sack race.
Which, again, I'm kind of pushing the speed a lot.
You got it, though.
Yeah.
We didn't say that you had to choose people with different superpowers, so...
So, for this one, it is... What is it? I put the Flash here, right?
Yep.
I did.
The Flash.
I put the Flash so he can just hop as fast as possible.
I put the Scarlet Witch.
She's gonna fuck with me.
That was pretty much the idea.
Yep.
Is that, again, I approach this the same way I approach many of the combat situations, both as a DM and as a player, is I don't have to be stronger, faster, better, harder than my opponent. I have to use what my opponent has against them. So she's going to make your potato sack look like whatever the Flash is afraid of most, devouring him, and then hippity-hop down the way.
I feel like this is definitely showing something about our mental, how we approach things.
Problems.
Like, my solution is to find the best to overcome that obstacle. Yours is to just bring down the competition.
Yeah. Wait, I know my limits in life, and most of them are physical. So I know my strengths in life, and most of them are mental. So I know how to use my mental abilities to take out my physical competition. And that's how I roll.
Okay. All right. I understand.
I just don't know what the Flash would be afraid of. I don't have to know. Scarlet Witch would know. Or if this was D&D, she would roll well enough on her insight check to figure it out. But...
Okay. Question. Would she wait until that race actually started? Or if she would not do the whole mind freaky thing beforehand?
No, I think that she would want to start before then. But I feel like that Storm would say, you can't do anything until the bell horn, whatever, goes off. Once the air horn signals the beginning of the race, then she can go.
Yes, because then it's competition.
Yes.
Beforehand is sabotage.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's where Storm would think that the Cap would find the line.
Okay. So the question for our listeners for when they decide who wins is, would the Flash be able to finish the race before she does the whole mind melody thingy?
Right. And I posit that he could probably finish 3/4 of the race, but that her mind thing would work, and then he would fall down into a ball of huddle of fear, and it wouldn't matter then at that point how long it took the Scarlet Witch to complete the rest of it.
Okay. I'm curious about the length, because if it's like 100 feet, he's going to get there
right
in less than a second.
Right.
But if it's like a mile, it may take him a second.
Yeah, but if it's like a mile, like Scarlet Witch wouldn't be... I couldn't hop on a potato sack for a mile.
See? So, like, if it's 100-foot potato sack
if it's a mile, then I say that she does that first, and then she moves the finish line closer. Oh, boy! I want to say that it's, 400 meter or 100 meter or whatever is the long, from one end of the long side of a track to the other end of the long side of the track. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in a track and field. I'm assuming that this is all taking place in a track and field place. So maybe that's like 100 meter dash. Okay. I want to say that's 100 meters.
Okay.
That's a little roughly the size of a football field.
I need to see the Flash's top speed.
God.
What?
Don't bring math and stuff into this. If you bring stuff like that, then I should have prepared, and that means that I didn't want to prepare and bring nerd facts.
761.21 miles per hour is the speed of sound, and he can obviously move faster than that.
All right, so he can move 5 miles an hour. That's what you're telling me.
No, that's 761 miles per hour.
I thought you said 7 miles per hour. I was like, okay.
The speed of sound is like 700.
He can move like a fast.
The speed of sound is about 761.21 miles per hour.
All right, fine. So
and he can move faster than that.
So he can move 700 miles per hour.
Yeah. Hold on. Google, help me.
Oh my God, don't. You're gonna crush. No, because if you do this, then they're gonna then you already have an advantage because you've already put the facts in there.
Fine.
We're not using facts.
No facts.
No facts.
No facts. But when you find the facts, you'll see I totally win.
If I wanted facts, I would go to a comic book store.
All right, fine. No facts. I'll just say that I did see the Google, and you will find that I'm right. Speed, baby. Okay.
So, when I was trying to find these events, I was trying to find ones that weren't all like foot races, but a lot of them are foot races.
Mm-hmm. Because what's more challenging for a normal person than running?
Running. Do you know what's funny is I honestly thought that when we were putting our teams together that we were going to have a battle over Hulk. Because I was really sure that someone was going to be like, tug of war, the Hulk.
See, the only issue with that is in this dynamic, it's you're using one person for each thing. Mm-hmm. So if you want to use the Hulk, you pretty much have to forfeit any other challenge. You have to forfeit one to be able to try and guarantee the Tug of war. Which, with your strategy, wouldn't really work, now would it? You'd turn the Hulk onto his own team and then just have him bulldoze him.
Because the other thing is, if I do that, then I would strategically place it it doesn't matter what event it is, so as long as Scarlet Witch is in that event with the Hulk and it's early. Because if he turns on the team and he takes them all out, then I win the other races because none of them are fit to compete. I am a very mean person on the inside.
I see how it is.
I just try to use my powers for good instead of evil.
I see how it is. Mm-hmm. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next race.
The next race, the 5th race is...
It's not even a race.
No. The 5th event is the water balloon toss. So
yes.
You stand on one side and I stand on the other. We toss a balloon back and forth. And then once it's made one full completion, back to the person who started it, you take a step back and you complete and you complete and you complete until the last person, until your water balloon breaks. And then the person to throw it full completion, the furthest, wins.
All right. So, on first glance, my setup doesn't seem that smart. Because I got Superman and Supergirl. And I know what you're thinking. Superman and Supergirl, but they're super strong. They're just going to smash the balloon first chance they get. But no. See... They know how to use their strength. They know how not to crush people with a handshake.
It's true.
So, and just like in Justice League, the animated show, there's one part where Superman's facing Darkseid and getting his butt handed to him. And then he realizes he doesn't have to hold back anymore. And goes through this whole epic monologue of, I live in a world of cardboard and tissue paper. I have to be careful with every handshake just to make sure I don't hurt somebody. But you can take it, can't ya, big guy? So, between the super strength, meaning they can toss it really far.
Yeah.
And then the super speed, being able to speed up right when it gets close, catch it, do like a fancy swirl to slow it down, get that energy off of the actual balloon. Yep. They can do it.
I chose Storm and Jean Grey. I figured that Jean Grey could use her powers to safely get the balloon from one person to the other. And then Storm could use her powers to mess with the wind trajectory of...
Our balloon.
Your balloon, yeah. Because I think that one thing that just occurred to me is you can't... I mean, you can move a little bit. You're not stuck stationary in your spot, but you can't keep taking... You can't, like, back up a little too much or whatever. So if somebody overshoots the balloon...
That would go into just how good are they over the control of their own strength.
Yeah. Okay. Which I do believe that they are. And I could make an argument for where if it was going to go too high that they could, like, jump to grab it and then land in the same spot. I can make that argument. But they can't, like, back up a bunch because the whole point is to, like... So all I gotta do is one, like...
See, like... Okay, I understand now. I get it. I understand how your evil mind works.
Well, here's the fifth and final race, and this is one that I have no confidence in my team. So, you go first.
Okay, what is it? The beanbag toss?
It is the beanbag toss. So basically, This is just a piece of plywood that has holes in it, much like a skee ball. You know, each one is worth a different set of points, and you got to toss the beanbag from a certain distance into the hole for the most points. I'm going to say that you probably have like 3 to 5 beanbags that you're tossing so that you can rack up, around 1,000 points. Because I'm sure, like, a skee ball's always got that one in the corner that's like 400 or something. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. All right, so my choice is the Huntress. The oddball out.
The one who was good for nothing else but this one! This one
She is long-range support. She is vital to the team. Let no one tell you otherwise.
I'm surprised Huntress is not, in some ways, she's not a good guy. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised you didn't have her sabotaging everybody behind everybody's back.
I mean, I could, but I guess I just don't roll that way. But no.
I do.
I know that by now. But, no, and some people might think, well, what about, like, Hawkeye or Green Arrow? And I'll tell you exactly why. Because she has the skills needed, Supergirl has the powers needed, and I did not want a sausage fest. I did not want to have just an all-male team. I needed variety. Nope, too much male ego. Too much testosterone pumping around in there. Don't get me wrong, I'm a man, I'm okay with testosterone, but... sometimes there's just a little too much. You need balance. Mm-hmm. Did not need the sausage vest. So, she has the skills. She's a long-range archer. She's got the accuracy needed to be able to take that beanbag and put it right where it needs to go.
I got no arguments. She absolutely can. Like, what are you supposed to say? Like, now if she can do this... I don't see any other way that she couldn't. I chose simply because I needed to...
You needed Storm to have a game.
I needed Storm to have a game other than just being the support and water balloon toss. I chose Storm. I also chose her because I can't think of anybody else who has a long range, like... I mean, I could use the same... Well, I couldn't use Jean Grey in more than 2 games. And I'd already used her in the egg spoon race to keep the thing on. And I'd already used her in the water balloon toss for the same thing. So I couldn't use her in this one. And I can't think of my other people who have long range. Like, I know that Scarlet Witch sometimes has, like, bolts that she fires or whatever. But Storm also has lightning bolts that she fires from a distance. So, yeah. I went with Storm. I think that she has some accuracy. It's never been pointed out to me that she doesn't. But she also doesn't do a lot of precise firing.
So she's got at least like an average person's accuracy. She's not good, she's not bad. Right. But she's okay.
I mean, maybe she could use the wind to, like...
help guide it in.
Help guide it in. Maybe.
I'm waiting for it. I know what you're going to do. I'm waiting for you to say it.
Say what? I wouldn't know. I don't think I could because it's one at a time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not something where we're both going at the same time. I don't think that Storm could or would use her powers against another person during their time of
Thank you, Storm,
accuracy.
for being a good person.
Like, the water balloon toss is all good because that's, like, again, kind of together. You're both going at the same time. Where this is more of like a golf kind of game where you have to be quiet and whatever and so forth. So.
No cheating this time.
Nope. No cheating. I don't think it's cheating. It's other events.
Bending the rule.
It is
stretching the rules.
It is strategically using the enhancements given to me. Which, let's face it, ex-ladies.
Let's. My team is strategically using the enhancements they have to help themselves. You are strategically using the enhancements you have to drag me down.
You're using your powers to see the end finish line. Some cases, literally. You are seeing the goal in mind, and you are setting up for the deck for the goal, where my general MO is to set up for the situation. So I am situationally aware that I'm not going to be the strongest or the fastest. I just know how to deal with the strongest and the fastest. All the races have been done. We've played out the scenario for you. So now it's your turn to tweet at Ancient B with 3 E's using hashtag Superhero Field Day. Which team you think would win? Team Justice Force.
Justice Force.
Or Team X-Ladies.
And Team X-Ladies.
If you liked what you heard here today, please follow us on Facebook and share our episode at Ancient B, ANCIENT, capital B. You can find us on Twitter and Tumblr. I've been Heather, or Team X Ladies. You can follow me pretty much everywhere at The Fae Lady. That's TheFaelady.
And I have been Bryce. I won't be from now on. I'll choose a new name. But I have also been Team Justice Force. And you can find me attached to the Ancient Bee page on Facebook as Bryce Furman. And under Twitter as BFizman, BFIZZMAN. And we can definitely tie, because there is 6 events, so we can definitely tie.
This is true.
So
I didn't
just
think of that.
Just list out like each event, and then just be like JF or XL for the team, and then that way we can just see. Okay, well, we may have tied, but, I won these events, she won those events. And just to give us an idea of, okay, where we were smart-ish. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, we're gonna go off air and see what we think would actually win. You guys can join us next week, and hopefully we'll have results to tell you. Might be a couple of weeks, actually, for looking at it. But anyway, last thing to say is be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.
Superhero Hill Day!